It's your boy BQ. So this is my setup. This is basically how I do things. Forgive me for the smaller size because that's on my other screen, the one that's in portrait mode. Because for some reason OBS won't let me capture my main monitor right now. So I'll do it like this. Anyways, this is the setup I use usually. It's on this monitor that I have both OBS and this configuration and the volume mixer. And yeah, and then the pause screen is over here on another monitor, and the pause screen is just a video that's somewhere. It's on a Google Drive. I don't know if you have them, otherwise I'll link them to you. And it's just a series of videos that play music, and it's a pause screen. Well, we'll talk about it later again. So the way it works is I have this stream scene. And on the stream scene, I have a window capture for Rocket League. You want to have, of course, Steam in notifications muted and stuff like that. You want to have Rocket League in borderless mode because it makes it much easier for you to tab in and out. And you want to have the, not the mouse cursor displayed. Those are all settings, but then you're good to go. Then I have the score overlay, which is also on the Google Drive. I'll link it to you. It looks like this. And then scores and names. I just created a text for name blue, name orange. So, in between games you just adjust, and then you have to, resize them and put it wherever it fits the overlay. That's what I meant when I said, whatever the font size, because it's really a matter of fitting the overlay. And then what I did, because it saves a lot of time in between games actually, is I already pre-made text that fits exactly below the score overlay of all the possible scores for best of fives, because finals are best of fives, the rest is best of threes, so it'll help. And it makes things much easier and much faster. So that's basically how I do it, right? I transition into the game like this would display the game like a blank screen, and then what I do is as soon as the game starts, I display the names and I display the score with a transition. I got my transition like this. I got my transition set to a fade of 1000 milliseconds, so 1 millisecond. 1 second. It makes things look a bit smoother. But you do whatever you like doing. Let me get back to my display capture there. And the pause screen is it's over here on a different monitor, and it's just basically down here you can see it's Media Player Classic that is not full screened actually. It's just the window, it's windowed, and I cropped the entire thing. I use a crop filter over here. No, where is it? Where are my filters at? There. To kind of not capture, that was 218, okay, to kind of not capture the entire, you can see the entire window. Oh, 218 is actually a bit, that's weird. Wait, let me recrop it quickly. What about here? No, that's the other way around. How did I mess that up? No, that was good. Okay. Oh, need to resize it now. There. So basically, how it'll go is the stream will be will start in a pause screen. So pause screen is here. So you start it up. You want to check out your check your volumes, etc. For me, the volumes that seem to work are around 17. For the 16, 15, 17, for the pause screen and the casters, which will be here in Discord at max volume, because it allows for smooth transitions. People still have music, they can still listen to music, but when the casters start talking and you make the transition, they can talk over the music and you can hear them. It's smoother, it's tidier. So that's how I do it. Right, so you start in the pause screen kind of like that, right? And then you will, let me mute it. You'll give a countdown to the casters. you won't be able to hear them because there'll be, you will be, let me transition again. Discord will be muted down here, of course, because you don't want the entire stream to listen to the casters, to hear the casters, chat in between games, in between series. Well, in between games, yeah, but in between series. So they'll be muted, so you don't hear them. So basically, you're in the pause screen, and then you'll give them a go. You'll tell them, okay, well, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you make the transition, you unmute them, and they'll start talking. Music will still be running, and what I do is I simply use like my arrow key to slowly fade it down to 0 as they start talking. So that's basically how it works. And then there are chapters in the video you'll see, and every chapter is like when another song starts. So you can, in between games, when it's muted, you pause it, go to next, and it's ready for the next game, for the next pause screen. So when the casters are done, you have to brief them to tell them that, to give you some sort of hint that you can go into the pause screen. So they'll go something like, stay tuned for the next series, whatever. At that point, you mute them. At that point, my bad. At that point, you make the transition. So they say, yeah, stay tuned, blah, blah, blah. And you go over here, you go play, and you transition, and then you mute them, and you tell them they're muted, and they're ready for the next, they get ready for the next series, and they can chat, etc., and relax. And then it goes 5, 4, live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You transition again. You unmute them. You start your fade, and they start talking about the game. So it's not really hard. That's my setup. So if you have any question about anything, hopefully you've covered pretty much everything. So 2 scenes, one for the pause screen at all time, and one for the game. The overlay needs to be set up. I recommend you get all of the scores ready in advance. It makes things much easier and smoother for you. Otherwise, you oftentimes don't have much to do, and then, well, during games, you just switch cameras here and there, and then suddenly, you have a lot of work in between games. So that cuts a bit of work, gets you a bit of slack. Well, that's about it. So send me any questions you might have. I'll try to upload this.